Alright, you're welcome back. We'll be going straight to some of the trending stories going around Nigeria. Mariam, the political space in Nigeria right now is so heated to the extent that I don't know. But let's just look at some of the stories that are going around on social media and see what happens. The call for a merger of opposition parties to challenge the ruling All Progressives Congress has been endorsed by the new Nigeria People's Party. This affirmation was conveyed during a press conference in Abuja on Tuesday, where the acting national chairman of the party, Abba Kawu Ali, commended former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who had earlier called for a merger to unseat the ruling party. Ali says the NNPP see Atiku's call as a welcome idea and that the party is open to an alliance. He, however, stressed that the party is even more open to collaborating and welcomes any arrangement with any opposition parties, including the People's Democratic Party, the Labour Party, and others. Just like I've mentioned, the political space in Nigeria is really hot, and I don't really know what is happening, but the APC has been on people's lips for a while now, since the off-cycle elections to, the judgment, the final judgment, or let me say the judgment of the 3 states gubernatorial elections that happened in March, that a verdict came out last weekend, and people have been talking about how the APC is trying to have a superpower over other political space or political parties. And now Atiku has been talking about since after the general elections and all the petitions up and on the court, the Atiku has been calling on merger from different parties so that they can unseat or so that they can fight an APC. And to this extent, we are seeing that APC also has been coming out to, fight forward what is happening. And we are seeing that people are complaining that APC is this, APC is that. Why is the APC influencing our judicial system? Why is APC showing superpower? Why is, but it is a tussle, it is a power tussle that is happening in Nigeria. Now to you, what is happening in the political zone in political space in Nigeria? What is your own opinion about it? And do you think that this thing is a proper leadership? Because the young people, we keep saying it, that the young people are watching all these things that are happening and they keep doing it repeatedly. We've been talking about how our leaders should learn and respect themselves and do the right thing. I'm not saying having a merger is not respecting themselves, but people have been complaining about so many things that are happening from the APC, from the PDP, from all the parties in Nigeria. What is your own opinion about that?
Okay, the first thing is that we don't even have political parties that have ideologies. And that is why somebody can be offended in APC and then the next month he's in PDP. And then PDP offends him and then he feels there's an opening back in APC, he jumps back to APC. And then he doesn't get what he's expecting. The next month he's back, he's in Labour Party. And then from there, he doesn't get nomination, he jumps to NNPP. So you now discover that people are just, jumping from one political party to the other. Why? Because there are no political ideologies. People just belong to for them is a career. You're not getting what you want from your employer. The next thing you look for another high-paying employer to jump boat and all that. So, but I think people need to parties need to be formed along political ideologies, and that way, when you have an ideology, you look for a party that aligns with yours, and then you pitch your tents there. It's just like what we have in the US, you find people who are Democrats and they are Democrats for life.
Yes, that's
true.
They
are Democrats for life, because they have ideals, they have ideologies and they stick to it. But in Nigeria, politics is more of politics in Nigeria is a career. And it's the fastest paying career.
We've talked about this before.
The highest paying career,
And again, I feel, to corroborate what you just said, I feel that we need a political education. These people are not politically oriented. Just see somebody grow from being joint body, like people will say. Then you see that I like you, I pick interest in you, and you are going to be the honorable of this very ward. From there it moves and moves and moves, and then he puts up every means possible to become the chairman of the local government, and then use all other means, like you said earlier today. You said some people went to the court of appeal with jazz on them, charms, throwing it in the environment and all of those things. But like you also rightly said that it is heated, but for me, I don't feel the political space in Nigeria is as though heated. It is just instead of people coming to perform some drama, drama from INEC, drama from saying I'm going to unseat someone, drama from the court of appeal, drama from the after elections, then all of those things, and especially drama from the people. The unwillingness, like I always say, the unwillingness, the lackadaisical attitude, from people saying that okay, they will be there whether we vote them in or not. Let them just do it. The way they feel that is right. All of those things will not let our the kind of politics we practice in Nigeria grow. And Bayo Ononuga said yesterday in the press release, he said, why should somebody like former President Olusegun Obasanjo make a statement that the democracy we practice in Nigeria is not it, when he was the one who ruined everything from when he emerged as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And when I started looking at some of the history that we have, I realized that maybe he might not have said it well, but to an extent he's saying something reasonable. And I just hope this new administration changes what we have already, or in fact change the narrative, to something interesting.
So maybe it's a trial and error thing. Probably you try this, if it doesn't work, you try another one.
Exactly.
We are practicing liberal democracy. He is saying that I think Africa should adopt Afro democracy instead of the liberal democracy, because it is not.
That we copied from the US and
he said it was forced on the continent, and it was forced. You agreed to it. You worked with it.
He was the one that
until this time. That is
yes.
Until this time, and now he is coming out to say maybe this thing is not working, and so many backlash that he got, on the internet, talking about you do not have the right. Someone said he doesn't even have the right, when people are talking about things like this, he doesn't even have the right to come out and say such a thing.
That was what Chief Bode George also said. People like Chief Olabode George, President Olusegun Obasanjo, well, they have their opinions, and maybe it is to an extent valuable, but check the history before you come back.
All right, we'll be going to our next story. During a meeting with estate developers in Abuja on Tuesday, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, announced he has successfully saved 110 billion naira for the Federal Capital Territory administration since assuming office. Wike expressed concern regarding the prevalence of fake certificates of occupancy being issued through the land process. He further revealed that corrupt individuals within the administration were demanding payment of 5 million naira for obtaining a C of O. Additionally, the minister shared his intention to seek President Bola Tinubu's approval to incorporate a national identification number into all C of O's issued by his administration.
That brings me to what we discussed behind the camera, when we said we have some professionals, nurture course in the process, the profession of surveying practices. And when you see a professional has like 10 staff, 5 who are not well schooled, who have not gone through the process, maybe you should just take us through the process.
Okay. First of all, in the register of the Surveyors Council of Nigeria, the Surveyors Council of Nigeria is the regulatory body empowered by law to regulate the practice of surveying, and part of their duties is to determine who becomes registrable and who is registered to practice surveying in Nigeria. Now, they have 4 sections in the register. There's a section that is for registered surveyors. There's a section that is for pupil surveyors. There's a section that is for survey technologists. And there's the last section, which is for survey technicians. Now, a survey technician is somebody who has a minimum of OND, or national diploma, or is in the process of obtaining a national diploma in a recognized and accredited institution of higher learning offering surveying. A survey technologist is somebody who has a minimum of higher national diploma. A pupil surveyor is somebody who has obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in surveying or a postgraduate diploma in surveying that has registered, that has enlisted with the council for registration. He's a pupil surveyor. And your pupillage is supposed to last a minimum of 2 years before you sit for your final exam. Now, the final section is the registered surveyors, which is where we have people who have been registered duly by the council to practice as surveyors.
Not a secondary school.
No. No. And so far in that section of registered surveyors, dead and alive, we are still less than 6,000 in Nigeria.
Less than 6,000.
Dead and
So
alive.
what would you say to someone who says, I am a surveyor and I am an architect? Is it possible? Because I've seen like quite a number of people say I am an architect, I'm a surveyor, and in fact a quantity surveyor.
In fact, what is the difference between an architect and actually a surveyor?
Because they merge it. They merge it.
Okay, well, it's first of all, it's possible for you to be a registered architect and a registered surveyor.
Okay.
Yes, we have a number of our colleagues who are even barristers called to bar.
Okay.
They are registered surveyors. It all depends on if you have the capacity to go through the learning process and acquire all the necessary degrees and the certifications. So it's allowed. So, but an architect is somebody who is vested with the skills, knowledge, and certification to carry out structural building designs and a whole lot of other things that architects do. I'm not an architect, so I may not be able to.
Yeah, you tried.
Yes,
I commend you.
But an architect must have the skills, knowledge, and certification.
So what Yesom Wike did is applaudable, right?
Well, yes, it is. I think we have come to that point in Nigeria where we should have something that looks like a social security number. But even though the problem is that we have too many numbers in Nigeria. You have your national ID number, you have your driver's license
Bank
number,
verification
you have
number.
bank verification number. Can't we just harmonize all these numbers into one? Into one, so that, you know, if you're applying for a driver's license, you just present that number and it's typed, so that with that, we can harmonize all of our IDs from your passport to your driver's license to your national ID card to your voter's card. You know, instead of having your voter number, your national ID number, passport number, you know, driver's license number, there are too many numbers all over the place. You know, so it's a welcome development, and I hope that in future the national ID number would become the valid number. Of identifying every Nigerian. Yes.
So it probably would work better if, you know, the NIN is being, you know, fixed.
Yes, if it's incorporated into C of O, once you pick up a C of O, and then with that number you can trace and get the history of
the person.
Yes, the history of the person, and then you can also ascertain the process and ensure that it's valid. Like there's something we have presently in Lagos State on all our survey plans. We have a security feature on it.
Okay.
So once if you see any survey plan now, there's a code, a barcode on it. Once you scan that code, you can actually verify the authenticity of that survey plan. Yes.
That's lovely.
All right. So before we leave the studio now, what would you have to say to our viewers who are watching you? I know you have said a lot to them, but what do you have, your last word to them before we leave the studio?
Okay. My final advice is before you do anything pertaining to land, please ensure that you patronize a registered surveyor. And here are the questions you should ask whoever claims he is a surveyor. Ask him what his registration number is. Ask him for his office address. And then every surveyor, for instance, practicing in Lagos, should be a member of the Association of Private Practicing Surveyor. And then you should seek to see his ID card, because yes, we have an ID card. And then you should also ensure that he shows you his details on the app. We have an electronic app that carries the details of all practitioners in Lagos State. And then also you could go further to cite his certificate of registration.
All right.
And then you should know his office.
Yes, know his office. Very, very important.
Stop patronizing surveyors on the streets. Know his office.
Mariam, what do you have to say?
Yes, this is what I've got to say. Seek knowledge, talk to a professional, and read for you to get information. Someone said if you want to kill a Nigerian, just hide the idea inside a book, and it will never open it to know what's happening or how to become rich in life. My name is Miriam. Okay, bye-bye.
And of course, for me, I would say be very, very aware of quacks, because they are everywhere. Yeah, they are everywhere. So be very aware of, who is a professional giving you an advice and who is not, so that you will not put yourself in trouble. My name is Tante Azal, and I will see you, or we will see you on Friday, same time, 9 a.m. And we'll be having a great ride with you. Thank you for watching. Do have a great day.